By the way, Tom, what is the process of Nobel Prize? If he's able to do that, who nominates? Because most of the Nobel winners are on the left.
Nobel Prizes, you can go look this up, are given through an arcane nomination process, and they go into a back room and they decide who they're going to give it to. And the Nobel Peace Prize is basically a political football. You look around the world at people that have really caused peace, and you have Obama made a couple speeches as soon as he was inaugurated in 2009. Oh my goodness, we give it to, for fostering an environment of peace. He didn't do anything. He didn't do anything.
What if I told you that Patrick Bet-David just turned Barack Obama into his personal punching bag, not with fists, but with words so sharp they could cut through Secret Service glass? This isn't politics as usual. It's a full-blown roast disguised as commentary, leaving everyone clutching their pearls. How did a businessman step into the ring and leave a two-term president wobbling? Stick around, because this meltdown is way too good to miss.
Okay, so you hear these stories and it's becoming more and more and more. I guess here's the question. If they got a divorce, what's the big deal?
Nothing.
Okay.
Absolutely nothing.
So if they got a divorce and it didn't work out, Michelle's doing a podcast. I saw the numbers yesterday. Their episodes keep getting fewer and fewer views, according to
You want me to tell you the numbers,
If
man?
you have it, yes.
So the new podcast continues to tank. The viewership is down over 75% compared to her first episode. Her viewership has been dropping since her show on March 12th. So it went from episode 1, 335,000, episode 2, 194,000, episode 3, it jumped back up, episode 5, 141, episode 6, 63,000 views.
Can you just go to the channel wrap? Let's see how it's doing.
So people are just not feeling it.
It's ranked 34 on Spotify.
And you know what it is, Pat, why he's looking it up? It's not fair. Like, if you're in an unhappy relationship, I feel like when it comes to politics and these politicians, you have to stay together because of your public image. And it's like, bro, you're unhappy.
Patrick Bet-David built his empire by shredding business myths and forcing people to rethink everything they thought they knew about money, power, and leadership. But recently, he turned that sharp analytical blade towards someone many consider untouchable, Barack Obama. The result was like watching a heavyweight boxer step into the ring with a magician, pulling back the curtain to reveal it was all just smoke and mirrors.
Look at Obama. He had an opportunity, but he wasn't raised with a black American. So he don't connect with us. He don't relate to us because he's not a black American. He come from an African man who had a baby with a white woman overseas and raised by his white racist granddaddy and his loving white grandmama. He grew up throughout school dating white women. Like, who you date, your mama? Michelle was a political move for him.
You think so?
He would never got elected had he had a white woman. That's why Kamala couldn't get elected. Ain't nobody vote for no black woman with no white man coming from our culture.
Obama's carefully polished image didn't just take a scratch. It got hit with a full-on wrecking ball, and people still can't believe how hard it landed. For over a decade, he carried a glowing aura as the golden boy of politics who could do no wrong. The smooth speeches, the charismatic smile, the movie star presence. It was the political equivalent of a Marvel superhero origin story.
Barack
Like
Obama's
Sade.
sitting like that. Where is his junk? It has to be mushed and
That's
mashed.
what you
It's not even
interrupted.
a-
By the
That's
way.
what you interrupted Tom for? He's talking about his marriage?
Tom was saying something
Unbelievable.
about the challenge of marriage. But listen, you know who else is like that? Gavin Newsom.
Oh, hardcore.
They sit like that. That
It
takes
hurts.
heart. That's a
hurts.
Yeah. But anyways, going
Let's be
back to
grown-ups
it,
here,
what
guys.
were some of the things
Another
that
guy
he
with
said?
no junk.
What did they say? What are some of the things? Not that one. If you go to the Sean Ryan picture, the Sean Ryan Newsom picture,
It's so condensed.
that's the one you want to look at.
Every failure was repackaged as a noble effort, and every scandal was swept under a rug woven from hope and change. Obama became the prom king who never gave up the crown, strutting through reunions to remind everyone that, yes, he once gave that killer speech and still fits into the tux. But then came Patrick Bet-David, a businessman who doesn't care about the tux, the crown, or political nostalgia. He only cares about receipts, numbers, and facts, and he's not afraid to laugh.
So there are three things hiding in plain sight here. The first that's hiding in plain sight was that Obama was nowhere in sight. He didn't come to a podium. He didn't do one of those impromptu interviews. The media that follows him around where he goes for his foundation or things he does didn't come up behind him. He didn't go on the podcast with his wife where he was talking about young men and things and needing gay friends a week ago to come back and says, I don't need any of this crap. No, nothing. Obama was silent.
And that's what made the takedown sting even more. Politicians get criticized every day. It's background noise. But when someone like Patrick Bet-David shows up with business logic sharper than a guillotine, people sit up straighter, because suddenly it's not partisan mudslinging. It's someone pulling out the scorecard and saying, look at the stats, not the slogans. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Take the economy. Obama was sold as the savior of the middle class, the man who would stabilize America after the financial crisis. On the surface, the story looked clean. Stocks rose, banks were bailed out, unemployment dipped. But Patrick dug deeper, the way an accountant does when the books don't add up. And the cracks glared back. Middle-class wages stagnated, the cost of living soared, and households were like hamsters running in circles just to stay in place. The rich got richer. Wall Street thrived like a weed after rain, while regular Americans were still clipping coupons, working 2 jobs, and praying their car wouldn't break down. Obama became the ultimate paradox, a leader praised for saving the people, while the people themselves felt increasingly squeezed.
You got Trump, you got Obama. What do you think about Obama? How much did Obama do for the black community?
Nothing.
You don't think he did a lot of good for the black
He
community?
didn't do nothing.
He didn't change your life positively, like.
He changed.
But he's black.
He spent 8 years. He spent 8 years giving the homosexual community all of our civil rights. We still need a little bit more. So Dr. King and them fight wasn't for integration. It wasn't really to take the Jim Crow signs down. The initial fight, and it lasted for a while. The initial fight was equal rights and equal protection under the law.
Patrick framed it with the brutal simplicity only a businessman could deliver. If a CEO claimed success while his employees couldn't afford lunch, would you applaud him? That's how he flipped the script, dragging Obama's economic record out of the glossy brochure and into a real-life profit and loss statement. And the picture wasn't flattering. It was like realizing your favorite fine dining restaurant was actually serving reheated leftovers at 5-star prices. Then came foreign policy. Obama promised hope, change, and less military meddling. Remember the Nobel Peace Prize glow-up? He was practically crowned the global peace prophet before even unpacking his bags at the White House. But Patrick stripped that halo down to cold bullet points. Drone strikes hit record highs, Middle Eastern conflicts kept raging, and America's reputation abroad looked more like a fire sale than a redemption arc. For a man who was supposed to end wars, Obama sure had a way of making headlines tied to civilian casualties. Patrick didn't even need sarcasm. The irony spoke for itself. Obama, the peace icon, expanded war strategies in ways that left critics' heads spinning. When Patrick laid it out, it was like pointing out that the lifeguard at the pool is the one tossing water balloons.
So Obama could not relate to the black American struggle coming from the N-I-G-G-E-R slave. He's not a seed of a slave. So why would he cry with us? He wouldn't cry with his people, homosexuals. He gave
Those are his people.
them his people. Man, them his people.
Stop.
You saw what he, man, listen.
You think?
Yeah, he gave them the world. Yeah, them his people. How you recognize your kind? By their actions. Homosexuals got actions.